And I'm pleased that we have 102 people registered. And I'm sure this would be a real learning experience. I think one of the biggest blessings of this lockdown period, if I think in terms of education, is the number of webinars that is being organized all over the country and all over the world. Starting with the Harvard University giving the courses free, opening their library to all those who are seeking knowledge. So I think in the first instance, I would like to tell all of you, this is a great opportunity. This COVID-19 lockdown, this global pandemic, it's a great opportunity to embark on real learning. I am pleased that St. Delors Technology is organizing this webinar on power systems, real-time simulation using ETAP. I was trying to find out what this ETAP it is, and I have found out that ETAP assists operators in making informed and logical decisions to reduce operating costs and improve system reliability. As a world leader in power system engineering analysis tools, ETAP integrates with the data acquisition devices to provide actual system operating conditions for the purpose of real-time simulation. What I would like to tell all of you, the faculty as well as the delegates and the participants, that simulation has been one of the key factors of learning, whether it is going to the moon, to the space, and various other discoveries and various other scientific adventures is always connected with the simulation. And I have always said that even in technical teaching and learning ambience, the simulation has to be one of the real process through which students will learn anything and everything. Even for a webinar, even for a sort of program to be done in layman's language, we can say a rehearsal. But the actual simulation, and that too with the ETAP and saving power and bringing the refinement that is required, will be probably one of the great learning experience of the current situation. And I'm sure engineering college, St. Aloysius Engineering College, St. Aloysius, which stands for quality and innovation, incubation, imagination, invention, and industry, we should be able to combine all the I's and make this seminar, this webinar, a great success. To all the delegates, I would like to say warm welcome and wish you a wonderful learning real-time simulation. Welcome, God bless you, and have a wonderful Aloysian learning time.
Thank you, Father. Now we would like to request Principal Madam for the welcome note and the inaugural address.
Thank you, Rupal. Thank you, Father. Greetings to one and all present today. I would like to welcome the eminent speaker of this webinar, Mr. Jagrit Patel, the esteemed faculties from all respective institutions, and dear students. Through this webinar, we aim to spread knowledge and experience to our participants in order to promote learning even in this difficult time. I would like to thank the eminent speaker for sparing his valuable time and for sharing his enormous experience. I would also like to thank RGPV for giving us the opportunity to organize this webinar. Today's topic includes real-time simulation using ETAP. ETAP is a software where various situations of power system can be realized, which is not possible to implement in real-time circuits. This webinar is an exquisite opportunity for the participants, and I hope that they make the best of it. I wish my very best to all the participants, and lastly, I wish for the safety and the health of all present in this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. So now the time has come to give mic to our expert, Mr. Jagrat Patel. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Dr. Smita. This is Jagrut. I am accompanied by Mr. Kapil Jani, who is with me right now. He is my business partner as well as he is also holding the same technical director in my company. I am sharing my screen of presentation. Mr. Rupal, am I audible perfectly?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm starting my presentation. So before starting, I would like to give you a brief about our company, JP Technosoft. Myself and Kapil Jani are holding this company. We have got experience into the field of electrical network over more than 20 years. We are having expertise on electrical automation, solar of different projects, various projects. Coming to the topic, our presentation flow would be in this direction. We'll take up basic introduction of electrical networks. I'm told that there will be students of UG. So we'll take a basic look into electrical networks, their design and analysis requirements, the calculations which are usually required to perform to design a network, the softwares being used in this design process. Then we'll take up to the ETAP introduction, how to make the use of ETAP, how to start it with the basic features. We will also demonstrate you how to build a sample network. Basic two tools which we intend to take today is load flow calculation and short circuit analysis for the ETAP. Once this presentation is over, we'll take you to the real demo with the ETAP software installed in my PC. We'll show you how to create a model of circuit, and then we'll perform load flow and short circuit calculation. So let us start with the network. As we all know that, Mr. Rupal, shall we, to get a better performance of this presentation, shall we switch off our video?
Yeah. No issues.
Okay. Okay, so electrical networks, we have basic components like generation, generators, transmission and distribution. Generation, we can have base plant sources like coal-based power plants. Peak load generators are also there, like hydropower stations. There are non-conventional energy sources like solar and wind. Standby sources like DGs. Transmission networks are having long, short, medium transmission lines, primary transmission networks and secondary transmission network. Distribution network, electrical distribution networks covers mainly into LV and MV category. Primary and secondary distributions mainly handled by utility companies. It comes to utilization of electrical power. So utilization is categorized into mainly three categories: industrial, commercial and residential. In industrial, large, medium, small scale industrial units which consumes big power. There will be a continuous load, there will be intermittent loads. There will be utilization of non-conventional energy sources within the same industrial units. There will be standby sources in plant. In case of power grid fails, it can take over the full load or partial load. Similarly, in commercial, there will be establishments of shops, commercial malls, commercial offices, hotel, hospitals, etc. In residentials, there will be large, small, medium townships. Even a home as a unit is being categorized into the utilization of power. So this is all about electrical networks, what we handle in day out basis. Now, let us coming to the design objective of this all electrical network. So what should be the design objective when something is coming up, like a new project is coming up? What should be the design objective? So general design objectives are project planning and scheduling. So to know what to do when, we need to have a project planning, a proper scheduling of each and every task is required. Then second is material procurement and their installations process. So these are the general objectives for each and every project what we do. But there are some hidden mandate objectives also for the design parts, which needs to be taken care by designers in a very particular way. So these hidden objectives are safe installations. There will be statutory and functional requirements to follow to ensure statutory requirements established by Bureau of Indian Standards. Then to achieve energy efficient performance, to achieve economy in capital cost and running cost, and to ensure optimized, redundant and reliable system. These are basic design objectives which one has to follow while designing a new system. While designing the system, we have got another objective that is called power system analysis. When we are talking on electrical power system network, we have got analysis tools also. So what is the purpose of analyzing a prepared design, or what is the purpose of analyzing a design to be implemented? So basically the first objective is to have design verification. Suppose we have designed a transformer rating, then we should have confirmatory, we should have confirmation on its rating. So by performing analysis tools, we can check whether the size which we have decided is proper or not. Then determination of component specification, the voltage rating in case of a transformer is taken proper or not. This should be again a second objective. Simulation of various possible conditions. Power system analysis comes with many sources, with many loads, and we have got some sharing of sources or sharing of some loads. So it is important to have simulation of this various possible conditions, whether one source is working, acting at a time, or two sources acting, whether one load is working, another one is load on standby mode. So to verify all these conditions, we should have a simulation output. Now, to do all these things in a practical way is sometimes not possible. So it is better to have performance analysis on simulation tools. Simulation, by performing simulation, we can achieve faster results in iterative process like load flow analysis. For a new project, these are the calculations. These are the calculations which are required to perform for any kind of electrical distribution network project. This covers battery sizing. To have reactive power management, we should have capacitor sizing calculation, and we should have where to locate these capacitors. That means reactive power compensation mode is important to know. Then for conductors like cables and bus bars, we should have a separate calculations to size the bus bar and cable. Equipment sizing calculation one needs to perform. For an industry or for a commercial installation, transformer, UPS and DG sets are common equipments which are required to run the loads. transformers to receive power from the grid. UPS are required to have computers to run without any interruption. DG sets are required to have standby operations. So to size this equipment, we should perform equipment sizing calculations. Earthing is most vital part in our system, so earthing network calculation is required. When we are working for the substations, grid earthing network design is required. Then for electrical panels, nowadays widely used for any LT and HT installations. So for them, panel heat load calculations are must. Lightning protection is a system which needs to be employed for any kind of buildings nowadays. It is being made mandatory by Government of India through various standards. So lightning protection risk assessments is again a calculations which needs to be performed. For large motor, we should know what is the behavior during the starting of the motor. As we all know that during motor starting, it takes much more current, which is called inrush current, which is something 6 to 7 times the rated current of the motor. So during starting period of the motor, some dynamics will be there, which we need to understand. So that is called motor starting calculations. Then there will be relays, protection circuits. So to know the setting of the relay is must. Load flow and short circuit analysis is must for any project. And then finally is lighting. So lux level calculation for an area is must. So these are the calculations which are required to perform for a project. These are the tools normally available nowadays across the internet platform, and even some desktop applications are there by which you can perform several things. ETAP. We are going to take this in detail, but it is basically electrical transient analysis program. This is widely used. Then EDSA, electrical power system design software. This is again a power system modeling software which is being used. ETAP, EDSA, SIME, ESCAPE, SKM. These are all, even the MyPower. These are all power system modeling tools. And through these tools, you can basically perform different calculations like load flow, short circuit, relay, coordination, etc. These are all power system modeling tools, and to know the system behavior in different scenarios. eDevice is a software which is basically used to have different calculations which we have enlisted in previous slide. Participants are requested to raise the question whenever you feel, because there are various categories of participants which are taking part into this presentation. So you may raise any question during this presentation. It's going to be a good interactive sessions. We want to make it interactive. That's basically motto. There are other softwares also. Going further in this presentation, these are the softwares which are prepared and used by various companies for their use. Siemens is having Simaris softwares, ABB is having DocWiz, Legrand is promoting Excel Pro, Schneider, Ecodial, L&T, ETA-Pro, Eaton, Power Experts. These are parallel tools to the previous these tools. So the only difference between these global tools and this proprietary software is the libraries. Here in these tools, you will have variety of libraries independent of any particular brand. Here in this case, these all softwares are basically using their own products only. The supports which is provided for their own products only. The next is lighting design softwares. Lighting is a separate category which is generally being performed to know the lux level of a given area. For that, Dialux, Sigilux, Photolux, Calculux, Radiance, Microlux, these are the softwares which are generally used in the market to know the lux level, in which you have to first select the area. A snapshot is given over here, which now available. And that's the reason why we have taken it up in for demonstration purpose into this presentation. ETAP is widely used and most accepted standard software across world, platform, not only in India, across the world it is widely accepted, widely used. It has got many updations, fast updations available, and it has got a wide range of product libraries. The libraries are also regularly being updated by ETAP itself. It supports real-time operations. So suppose somebody wants to achieve a real-time operations, he can do with the ETAP. First, he has to prepare system model, and then he has to select real-time models and real-time tools. He has to obtain it from the ETAP, and then he has to perform those real-time application tools. ETAP, most of the tools are verified and validated by different standards. So to know, sometimes by performing certain calculations, we have got that doubt whether the answer we are getting is okay or not. So ETAP, they have that by themselves, they have verified and they have got it validated through some standards, through some standard procedures about their answers. So absolutely there is no chance of having bugs in ETAP softwares. For small calculations, eDevice is being used. So generally to perform these tools, we generally use eDevice software. And for lighting design, Dialux is basically used. Again, this is a widely used and accepted softwares. It is free and open source, so there is no license required. In ETAP, license is required. To use the ETAP, you must have license. But for students, student edition is available. So students can go to ETAP website, they can download it using their iPad. In case of Dialux, this is not required. It is open source. Dialux website is there. You can download it. eDevice is again, you need to obtain a license. Dialux is having fast updations and wide range of different lighting products. So now coming to, this is all about electrical networks and the softwares and tools and calculations which are required to perform for a new project. Now coming to the ETAP. So this is the ETAP interface, which is in front of your screen. So you must understand ETAP, how to use the ETAP, how different menus and the systems is working in ETAP. So if you see the screen, on the leftmost side, it is called a system toolbar. We will take each and every toolbar in detail in this presentation, especially for load flow and short circuit study. Then we will go with real-time demo of these ETAP softwares. This is called single line diagram. In ETAP, they are calling it as one line diagram. Single line diagram or one line diagram, these are synonym terms. But in ETAP, it is identified as one line diagram. This is analysis menu. This is library of different objects which are being used in single line, in preparation of single line diagram and for different applications. So which are the facilities available with ETAP software? So why we are using ETAP software? So these are the tools available. These are the calculations which you can perform with ETAP. The first tool is load flow analysis. In power system networks, you must have studied load flow analysis, Newton-Raphson method, Gauss-Seidel method, fast decouple method. So these all methods are available in load flow analysis calculation of ETAP. You can create a network and you can perform load flow analysis for either of these method. Then there is unbalanced load flow analysis also. Short circuit analysis method using per unit or ohmic method. Motor acceleration analysis. For a large motor, as I told you in the previous slide, for a larger motor, when it starts, we should understand the dynamics of power system, the source and the complete network, and adjoining load also. So what is happening when a big motor is started? To know that, we need to perform this calculation. Then another tool is harmonic analysis. By using many power electronics equipments like UPS, drives, etc., there are always chances of having harmonics in the systems. Harmonics may come from the source, it may be generated by the load operations. So to know the behavior of harmonic, we are using this tool. By performing, by checking this harmonic analysis, we can come to know the content of harmonics at various buses of the electrical network. Protection coordination. As we all know that relays are being used in for the protection of electrical components. Signals from CTs and PTs. This is a usual power, understanding of power network in which CT-PTs giving signal to the relay based on the CT-PT signals takes the decision, and then according to that it gives output to the respective breaker. So suppose in a system multiple relays are being used, then in a particular case, particular relay should trip a particular breaker. So to achieve this, protection coordination calculations are used. The brief I am giving you because there are some students who are not aware of this protection coordination. So when more than one relays are used in electrical network, protection coordination calculation is must. So by performing this protection calculation, you can detach the faulty part only. The healthy part will be intact. Students, if you have any question, you can always ask in between.
So yeah, sir. You're here. My voice is audible to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is one question. I'm just taking one question. Missed by me, Priya Bachchan. So the question is, how is project planning carried out? Is it done on a specific software or just manually?
For any project,
Yeah,
maybe an industrial project, maybe a big commercial, maybe a big residential, project planning is carried out for different categories. There are different tasks basically. First task is planning task. So for that, planning softwares are used. Second task is conceptual network design. Third part is detailed network design. So these are different tasks. According to the task, different softwares are being used. For only planning purpose, project planning softwares are available like MS Project. But for us, being an electrical engineer, when we design a system, there are 2 to 3 stages of a project planning. First is concept, in which we basically size the different components and their location. So to size this component, we need to perform several calculations. The second stage, like say for example, when we are planning in an industry, a transformer is required. So to know the size of the transformer rating, KVA rating, we need to perform transformer sizing calculation. So for that, tools are available. Similarly, transformer is connected with HT cable. On the secondary side, there will be bus bars, there will be LT cables. So to know the size of all these components, we need to have different calculations, and different calculation and different stages, different tasks will have different calculations. So a single software cannot build a single project. This is what I mean to tell you.
Okay. The next
Okay?
question, yeah. So Priya, if you have any other supplement or counter question, you can ask in chat box. I'm taking another question, sir. The question is, can we model static VAR compensator in ETAP? Static VAR compensator in ETAP.
Yes,
we
we
model?
can model. Yeah, we can model a static VAR compensator in ETAP. There are tools available. Either you can take LC circuit. Either you can take LC circuit and you can model, or static VAR compensator model block is also available. So either way you can do it. See, ready-made model has got limitation. When you are designing your own LC filter, it's better. So to have a better idea about how it will behave in various loading condition or in various generation condition, it is better that you model by your own.
There is another question, sir. I think this question is incomplete, but I'm trying to formulate this. There is, sir, on ETAP, we work on fault detection and fault classification in transmission line like simulation. So can we work?
We work on fault detection and fault classification.
Classification. Yeah.
Yes, that can be performed because there are different scenario of short circuit. You can perform on that. That is possible.
Okay.
Short circuit classification is possible in time.
So we done with the question, sir. You can carry on.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. Optimal placement of the capacitor. This is again nothing but a VAR compensator. Just now we talk about a static VAR compensator. This is not a static. These are the actual capacitors which are placed on respective bus bar. So that is possible. DC load flow and short circuit analysis. These exclusive tools are now available with ETAP. This is generally for DC networks. DC networks are now widely used. In solar, this is, PV solar systems, large power plants, maybe 1 megawatt, maybe 100 megawatt, maybe 50 megawatt power plants, from solar panel to inverter. It's all DC networks. So to know the behavior of that, this is DC load flow and short circuit analysis is been performed. When we are working with large substations like 66 kV, 132 kV, 220 kV, there will be a specific earthing requirement, which is called grid earthing network. So below ground, there will be earthing network generally provided. So to size that earthing network, we need to perform grid earthing design calculation. This is also possible with ETAP. Then DC battery sizing. This is applicable to the DC load, or maybe when we are working with UPS batteries. this DC battery sizing calculation is generally used. Apart from that, there are small tools available with ETAP, which are part of their equipment modeling menus. So this will come for one or two menus. We will show you how to perform these calculations. So different calculations and their different menus are there. So first it is a load flow, then unbalanced load flow, then this is a short circuit. This is fast decoupling system. Fast acting switches calculation. This is harmonic analysis, protection coordination. So these are basically different menus which are opened up when we perform a particular calculation. We will take two menus, load flow and short circuit, in the presentation slides next. When we perform a load flow analysis, this menu appears. So once we are done with network preparation, this menu comes in. So what does this menu performs is, what facilities are available on this menu is to perform a load flow, run the calculation, to know different values on the screen of network, display option is available. If there are alarms or alerts, if the network is not performing to the mark, then alerts will be there. So to know the alerts, this is the option. To generate a report, an option is available. While performing the calculation, if you want to stop the calculation in between, there is a button available. To know the online data, the ETAP is quite capable to extract data from various websites of various manufacturers. This is a predefined thing, but of course this you can do it. But you have to be very careful while acquiring online data. Then get archive data. So once the calculation is performed, you can archive it. These are the different elements available in the library of ETAP. Starting from the left side, first is a pointer, which is used to point out a particular. So this is basically when you are creating one single line diagram on ETAP. These are the components which you can use. There will be 2 winding transformers and 3 winding transformers. 3 winding transformers are widely used in solar applications. There will be LT cables, EHV cables, MV cables, transmission lines, reactors, capacitors, inductors, power grid source. Infinite bus is called a power grid source. Then there will be generator, an MG set, synchronous motor, wind turbine source. Then there will be harmonic filter, phase adapter, HVDC composite network. Then there will be basic disconnecting devices like ACBs, add circuit breakers, then HT circuit breakers, contactors, changeover switches, etc. are the components already available in the library of ETAP. There are 2 different menus. One is for AC, another one is for DC. So similar components are available for DC also. So according to the network requirement, you have to take up the component and you have to place it on the ETAP to create single line diagram. So this is basically the screenshot of a ETAP software. So first is, it's a project toolbar. So to create a project, you have to use this toolbar. I'm taking these slides a little faster, and we will take time much on how to create a real-time model on ETAP software itself. So network building is very easy with ETAP. You have to select the component and you have to simply drag it on your design board. There is a question on board is, does ETAP able to determine the energy component? I'm not clear about this question. Energy component means what?
Yes,
Yes, output in terms of kilowatt hour, kVA-RH and kVA-H. Reactive power, reactive energy, apparent energy and active energy. All three energy component you will get at each and every bus level. So ETAP is able to determine energy component as well. Yes.
Yes, it can give losses also, system losses. So all the energy parameters are available, which you can flip in during your settings.
So network building we were talking about. So simply drag and drop the component. So here in this screenshot, we have taken one power grid and one bus bar. By moving your cursor on power grid, you will get one red pop-up. So simply you have to drag that red pop-up up to the bus bar. Then the bus bar and power grid link will be automatically created like this. So this way you can create a network. This is very simple technique. Nowadays with every major software, this is the technique is being used. So nothing new in this, but this is a very user-friendly software. There is one more facility which is called composite network. So network within a network you can create. So when you are working with a bigger network, so entire network cannot come into one screen, then you can create small component of your big network. You can hide them using this composite network menu. So create a composite network like this, then double click it on and you will get again the same interface in which you can put your own network in that. Then there will be connectors available. 4 connectors, 8 connectors, 12 connectors will be available. Through that you can connect this small network with your main network. So element visual editor is very user friendly. By simply dragging these 2 red dots, you can easily connect. And whenever you are moving the element from one point to another one by dragging it, this link will be automatically adjusted. So you don't need to reconnect or disconnect the link every time. So elements can move. Suppose this is the transformer element, then it can move, resize, rotate, cut, copy, paste. In cut, copy, paste, again there is a facility. It will be pasted with its own property. Now what is property? That comes in the next slide. So whenever you are placing one element on the single line diagram, by double clicking it, it will open this property window. In this property window, you have to put all the parameters which are required to perform your calculation. So which are these facilities? So for for one cable, we have highlighted over here, ID is must. So basic information regarding this element, you have to give a unique ID to that element. Name with number, you can give it, no problem. Then its physical data, then its impedance data, then its configuration. All this information you have to give either manually, or there is one facility available which is called library. As I told you, ETAP is having a global library of various products. So you can select a particular product into that category and your selection is done. The range parameter it will take from the library itself. You have to simply verify whether it is suited to your requirement or not. And this is a really good benefit of ETAP. If you are working with cables and transformers, if you want to verify the size which is selected for your application, it can be done in this menu itself. So say for example, for the cable, we have taken a small snapshot. This is a sizing tab in which suppose the user has selected a 25 square mm cable, then by putting up these values, you can verify whether it is meeting your requirement or not. Means it will verify 25 square mm cable is good for your operating condition or not. So first basic selection of the component you can do right from its library. Now, how to begin the creating a component? How to begin creating a model is given in this slide. We'll take this in detail. We'll take we will run load flow analysis on our network. So basic load flow analysis. This is the slide is available. See why the purpose of having these slides in the presentation is whenever you are referring to the slide, you can come to know the different features available. So in load flow study case, these are the setting which you need to do prior to perform the load flow. So basic information about load flow you have to give. You have to select rated voltage unit, you have to select power unit, etc. Then there will be an adjustment requirement, whether your bus bar is suitable to handle the variation of voltage up to 5% limit or 10% limit. These all limits you can set prior to perform load flow analysis. So load flow is done for a given circuit. You can also change the units given on this load flow diagram using this display options. And these are the reports which are generally available with every load flow calculation performance. We will also perform short circuit case study for our network, which we are going to create. So these are the facilities available with short circuit analysis. It can perform under various conditions like LG fault, double LG fault, three-phase fault. So the question, one question was whether it can differentiate between a different fault or not. So ETAP can perform different faults in the given network in a given location at a given bus. Yes. So this is again, you have to configure your short circuit study case first. I mean, prior to perform the short circuit calculation, you have to first fix the standard IEC or ANSI and relevant data. These are different reports, formats available for the display and further analysis purpose. Now we will switch over to live demo of ETAP. Any question till this you may raise?
Sir, there is one question. There are two questions. First question is, can we design fax device in ETAP?
Fax device means capacitor and inductor mainly. So yes, both the elements are available.
Okay. The question number 2 is, how do I use PSIM with ETAP? PSIM.
PSIM and ETAP both are different softwares. PSIM is generally used for power electronics component simulation, and ETAP is basically for electrical power networks. So both are having different capacities, so both cannot be compared. Further, ETAP has got its own file format. which cannot be called in PSeam. So similarly from PSeam, the file which is created cannot be called in ETAP. So compatibility is not there. So PSeam and ETAP both are different.
Okay, any other question? We can move ahead, sir. We can. Another question I got in my WhatsApp group. So someone is asking, it's open. It's a open source tool or a licensed version?
It's 100% licensed version. Student edition now they have released. So for students, there is one demo software available from their website. You have to enter your, students has to enter their basic details to download the demo, student version demo. So that you can now, earlier this was not available, but now it is available. So that you can do. Otherwise, for all rest, yes, one more thing, for institutes, they are giving discounts.
Okay.
But for rest, all fraternity, one has to obtain demo.
Okay. Okay. Another question from the student side regarding what is the cost for student? The software cost.
Cost is variable. It's variable. Cannot be given at this point, but it is in the lakhs. It is in the lakhs, and that depends upon depends upon the utility. Like how many buses you want to create in a project. So number of buses and number of tools you want, according to that, ETAP will offer you the cost.
Okay. Another question. It's incomplete. Dear participants, kindly write your complete question. Fine. There is one thing mentioned in the chat box: the sensitivity analysis and optimization process. So I think he wants to. He needs explanation. Mr. Rajiv Chauhan, can you write your question? Another question: is this software work on only live data? It's in chat box. The question they are asking in chat box. Dear participants, there is another segment, that is Q&A segment, where you can ask questions. So the question will directly show to the expert. Sir, the question, Rajesh Chauhan has completed his question. The question is, sensitivity analysis and optimization process is available in ETAP software?
No, sensitivity analysis and optimization you cannot do.
Okay.
At a time, you can perform only one calculation. You cannot reiterate the operations. So for optimization, iterations, more number of iterations you have to do. So that optimization process is not available. Optimization in terms of few things it is available. Like suppose you are sizing an equipment or sizing a network in which you want to put a capacitor. You want to decide location of the capacitor. So that kind of optimization can be done by performing load flow analysis ton by ton. So automatically it cannot give you the location, but it by putting up the capacitor at one location, you perform load flow, then take another location and you run the load flow. So you don't need to calculate a load flow every time. ETAP will do it, but it will not give you the optimum location of the capacitor.
Rather, I will add to that. This is the analysis software. Unlike MATLAB, it doesn't do the optimization. It will indicate you where the errors are, so you can rectify that. And it is your skill that you have to optimize the results. Live data. I mean, it has a.
Okay. Participants, any other question?
The cost for students, no cost. It can be downloaded.
Okay. For
student version, but it's a demo and with limited. There is a limited number of buses in the student version. You can download it straight away from the website by putting up your credentials.
Okay. It is another question from Akansha. Any commercial classes are available for that? Any commercial classes?
No, 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 no. But ETAP itself, they are giving you, all, I mean, presentations. They are having total help available. Even if you refer the help available with the demo softwares, it covers everything. Even calculations made, the equations which are used in calculations, everything is available in ETAP itself. It's totally open, and one can learn all the things from the ETAP.
Yeah, ETAP company themselves, they are running training softwares around the year at different centers across India. So one can attend that if you want to go professional.
Webinars regularly being conducted. They are having regular seminars in different countries. They have targeted Asia, South Asian market. So regularly in Bombay, they are having seminars. You can, it's all paid seminars, but of course you can attend those seminars. And all webinars are right now going on. So absolutely there is no problem attending it. They are all open.
Okay. There is another question, sir. The student version for limited time, or it is, I mean, it's continue for the time. He has mentioned it is regular.
It is there's no time, but basically the problem with this kind of software is there are regular updates. So in every 6 months there are updates available. So updates in the libraries and all. So to enable those updates, you have to have a license version. So few things you can do with the students up
Yeah.
to some time. Say maybe for your project work within 6 months of time, you can perform several calculations, and you know, that kind of things you can do.
Okay. There is another query I have. I think you have already answered in chat box only. The question is, can we get any expertise and an expert person number who can clear doubts in future when we implement or practice that? I think you have already answered.
You can always ask us. Give
Okay,
my email ID to them,
yeah. Okay.
or
So
even in the present, you can share this presentation to them. In that, my name and other details are available. So you can always raise queries. We would like to have queries in the softwares.
Okay. So, Mr. Akansha, you can contact Mr. Jagrat. You can call me. I'll give the required details. Okay, sir. So we can move ahead, sir.
Okay. So now we are starting with ETAP. ETAP is already open in my talk. We are starting with a new project. So new project name, first of all, you have to give. Let us start it with the paste. You have to specify whether you want to go with English or metric. So since we are having 50-year systems in India, we generally use metric systems. Password required or not, that is up to us. Whenever a project is being created and then it is being stored, to open it for the next time, you need to enter a password. For that, this is the facility. Your name. So these are the basic detail. It always asks prior to start the work. So now a project is being created by ETAP. Okay, so project is now created. This is called OLV1 edit mode. Means one line diagram, edit mode. Mr. Rupal, I'll stop my video because that is creating to handle the software on my PC.
Okay, okay, sir. No issues. Sir. No issues. You can.
Okay, so this is brief about ETAP. Already this screen was given in my presentation. This is project menu. The first one is a project menu. Then there is another menu which is used by the calculation, and these are the tools which are available. So first is load flow, then short circuit, then there is arc flash, motor acceleration, motor starting analysis, harmonic analysis, transient stability analysis. This is protection coordination, relay coordination calculation, DC load flow, DC short circuit analysis, DC arc flash analysis, DC battery sizing analysis, battery sizing calculations, unbalanced load flow calculation, time domain load flow calculation, unbalanced short circuit calculation, voltage stability checking calculation, optimal power flow, reliability assessment, optimal placement of the capacitor, switching optimization, FMSR, and these are new tools which generally we haven't so far used, but these are the new tools, new features right now available in ETAP software. This is a project menu in which you can see system manager. So different components and their settings are available on this left hand, which are to be used in our single line diagram creations. On right hand side, these are the components, elements, which are being nowadays used. Okay, so let us start creating one single line diagram. First of all, we will take up source. So generally we are starting with the power grid because all our systems are connected to the power grid. So we'll take the power grid first. We'll double click it to configure it. Utility company source. It's a three-phase connection. You can always go with single-phase connection for the microgrid creations. Then whether it is swing bus, voltage control bus, MVR control, or PF control bus, that you have to specify. Rating you have to specify. Rated. Generally, for a common installations, a small industry, a small commercial, or a small or a large residentials, there will be 11 kV connections generally available in India, in most of the states, in most of the utility boards. It is a balanced source. A short circuit level of the source that we have to give. So 11 kV at 500 MVA I'm giving. This 500 MVA is normally available. This is the figures we are generally using because this is normally available with most of all the distribution companies. And that's the reason why we have taken this short circuit level, source short circuit level. As you must have seen, once I have entered this 500 value, X by R ratio, short circuit, kiloampere, etc. are being calculated by ETAP, and these boxes are being filled. So this is automatic process based on 11 kV and 500 MVA short circuit calculation, because it's a simple calculation. Then if you want to perform time domain related calculations, then you have to fill up this time domain, harmonic, reliability. So depends upon the requirement, these different fields you have to fill. Right now we are only going with load flow and short circuit, so we have filled in this data only. X by R ratio we have entered. 30 we have taken as a general figure, which is generally available and that we are regularly using for our calculation. So now source is ready. These are the legends to the source. So whenever I am picking up the element, the adjoining captions will move automatically along with this element. Now we'll take up the next is cable. We are taking a case of a power system of an industry in which utility company is providing a meter at 11 kV. There will be an 11 kV cable. 11 kV cable will be terminated into a transformer, a 2-winding transformer, which will have secondary 433 volts. 433 volts secondary is connected with the panel, which will have complete distribution of entire industry. Maybe a motorized load, maybe a lighting load. So step by step, we are taking each and every element into this single line diagram. So I have created link between source and this cable. Now again, we have to enter required details for the cable. Now since it is an X. Now since, see, this is the facility of ETAP software. This is HT cable I have entered from bus 1. This bus 1, it is taken automatically. This is because I have created this link. If I remove link by deleting it, this is gone, because ETAP has, the software doesn't know where to connect this element. So it is first better to have connection between these two elements and then double click it. So relevant parameters it will take automatically, like it is connected with bus bar 2, which has got 11 kV source. So I don't need to give ETAP, I don't need to give instruction to ETAP that it is connected with the 11 kV source. It is taken automatically. Once the source is confirmed on 11 kV, the rest all down the line elements are taken on the same voltage level. Now for any cable, we need to enter the length. So 10 meter length, a short length of cable between power grid meter and my transformers I am taking up. I can take a tolerance also. Now, either I can give all these details by my own, or I'll select the cable from the library. So ETAP has got inbuilt library for various category of elements. So here in this particular case, this is a 3-phase connections, 3-phase cable. So I'm taking a 50 square mm aluminum conductor, 11 kV cable, 3-core XLP insulated, non-magnetic cable. This I'm taking up. I'm selecting it. I can go with any of this, but that device must be suitable to my loading requirement. So presently I am going with 50 square mm 11 kV 3 core XLPE cable. So rest all these parameters it will take automatically from its library. I don't need to give each and every parameter separately. So this is done with ST cable. Now it comes my transformer. So I'm selecting my transformer, a 2-winding transformer I'm selecting. I'm connecting ST cable with the transformer, and now we'll see the transformer is connected on the bus bar 3 and it has got primary voltage level 11 kV. Again, here I have to choose IEC standard, component condition, whether it is connected or not. These all things I need to give. This is transformer number 1. Now rating. See, primary rating it has taken automatically. Secondary rating I need to give because this is the system which we are designing. So secondary rating, as we know that all our distribution voltage level is 433 volt. So we are putting up 0.433 kV as a secondary. Now kVA rating I need to give. This is MVA or VA or kVA. So rated, say for example, I am taking 1500 kVA transformer. Rest all parameters it has calculated manually and then it is, I don't need to bother for other elements. So important elements, all important parameters only we have entered. Now it comes to its impedance data. So for 1.6 MVA 1600 kVA transformer, generally the impedance is in the range of 5 to 6. So I am taking 6% impedance. X by R ratio I am taking 15. These are the general data you have to take, you have to obtain from transformer manufacturer. These all data we are regularly dealing, that's why we know. This is zero sequence impedance. Or you can go with the typical Z by R and typical X by R. Either way you can do. We enter manually, but ETAP is also understanding based on the rating of transformer and it will give you suggestions. So we are right now going with the suggestions by ETAP. So transformer is done. As you can see, when I move this transformer, the link between ST cable and transformer is also moving automatically and it is moving in L shape arrangement so that the connection is visible properly. The next is LT cables. I am connecting cables. So this is all my LV cables. For 1600 kVA power rating, we have to select a cable. See here, this is all automatically taken. Bus bar 4 is connected and it has got 0.433 kV rating. So in the library, it will give me the suggestions which are suitable to my voltage rating only. So these are the suggestions it is giving me. I am selecting a cable of my choice. 400 square mm cable I am taking, but single cable will not serve the purpose. So we have to take more than 4 cables in parallel from transformer to the downstream side load. So 4 different cables we have put. Here we have considered 4 cables, and here we have considered only 1 cable, because this is ST cable and here this is LT cables. So ampere rating of 400 square mm cable is not sufficient to cater 1600 kVA rating. That's why we are taking 4 number of cables. We will verify it whether it is suitable or not. We may need to change to 3 or 5. That depends. So that we will cross check in our load flow calculations. Now we are taking 1 bus bars. So LV cable is connected with the bus bar. This is my small panel, which has got two types of loads. One is motorized load and another one is lump load. So a small system is created. You can see a pink color dot is appearing, and when I am moving that dot closer to this bus bar, the bus bar color also changes to pink. That means it is ready to connect with this bus bar. So now the bus bar rating is selected as 0.433 kV. This is my panel bus bar. Panel 1 bus bar I have taken. Now this is my motorized load. A 0.433 kV motor is there. I'm selecting one motor. A 500 kilowatt. So 500 kilowatt motor is taken now, and lump load I am taking 100 kVA. So with this, my all elements are now in place, my single line diagram. Now we will go for checking load flow first and then short circuit analysis. So to go with load flow, we need to click this. So as you can see, this menu changes. The second menu changes. This second menu is now corresponding to the load flow. So these all things are now set for load flow calculation. So before starting the load flow, you have to first set several parameters for load flow calculation. So here, which method you want to adopt, that you have to give, that you select, whether Newton Raphson, inductive Newton Raphson, fast decoupled, or accelerated Gauss-Seidel. Either of these you can select. You cannot perform two methods simultaneously. That is not possible. That's why selection is given. So once this is done, you can check with another one. So generally we are going with Newton-Raphson method, a simple Newton-Raphson method. This is called a loading category menu for load flow study case. So whether you want to perform the calculation on loading category of the load or different variety of the load. Maybe a normal load, maybe a winter load, summer load. So different loading categories are given in it. If you check this lump load, then on nameplate you are getting these many categories. So here you can define design category is 100%, normal category is 100%, brake category is say 200%, winter loading category is say 50%. So different categories you can always define, and you can perform load flow corresponding to that particular category. So that category is, so presently we are going with the design category. We are going with the highest kilowatt rating of the device. Adjustment. So this is basically for individual devices, the adjustments are being done. Alerts. Suppose your bus bar is having 5% voltage variation withstanding capacity, then you should mention 95% over here. Similarly, for all the devices, you should mention. Based on these variations, the ETAP will perform load flow calculation and it will initiate errors. So whenever there is a crossing of parameter beyond this range, it will show you an alert or an alarm. We'll show it. So presently we are going with the basic data, the by default data we are taking up right now to perform this load flow. Now our network and our network load flow configuration is ready. So we will simply perform load flow calculation on this network. So it is now, it has performed load flow calculation. The load flow is converged. You must have studied load flow calculation, Newton-Raphson method during your study. In that, there is a word converge of calculation. So if everything is okay in this network, all devices are properly placed with the parameters, proper parameters, their connections are proper, then load flow will converge. Otherwise, it will show an error that load flow is not converged because of these errors. So you have to rectify those errors, and then you have to perform the load flow again. So once the load flow is converged, you will get these parameters on the screen. So now we will zoom in the network to check the parameters. So on bus bar, we are getting 98.25% voltage. Now to alter this display, there is a facility available over here on right hand side, display options. So with this, you can change the way the parameters are being displayed in this network. So presently it is showing in the way percentage. So only kilowatt or only ampere. If you want to check, then it will be automatically changed. Right now it is only showing ampere. So 36.3 ampere is flowing from the source, and it is reaching 134 ampere is reaching to load flow 1. I mean the lump load is consuming 134.8 ampere and motor is consuming 788.2 ampere. Similarly, all things you can check, kilowatt also you can check. So these are the facility available. So in one of the question, somebody asked that whether it is giving energy parameters. Yes, it can give energy parameters also. It can also give you the in-between losses. So cable losses in terms of complex format or in terms of actual parameters. Always you can check. So these all things you can check after performing the load flow calculation. So this is all about load flow calculation. Any question till now?
Dear participants, you can ask question. If anybody is having any query, please type in chat box or QA section. No, sir. I think everybody is enjoying what you are showing.
That's good.
Hope it is not tea time.
Okay, so this is all about load flow.
Yeah.
Now we'll switch over to short circuit calculation. So for that you have to press this button. So the upper side menu will change. Here now we are getting short circuit edit case study. Here you have to mention different configurations are there. So presently, see, MV motors we are not using. LV motors we are using, but with 1 motor only. So these all are default settings available. We are not presently we do not want to disturb it. Only thing is this thing we have to do. All the buses in the network, we have to take it on the fault side. That means bus is created on each and every bus been adjusted now, and now we are taking the standard. So whether we want to go with IEC, ANSI, GHOST standard, these are the different standards which are available across world for performing short circuit current. And so method again you have to select. But presently we are going with the default setting available, and now we'll perform short circuit calculation. So the answer is on the screen. Source is feeding 26.24 kiloampere current. On LV bus bar, we are getting 37.21 kiloampere current. So source is coming. Source is feeding approximately 31.653 kiloampere current on this LV bus bar. Lump load is feeding 0.672. See, lump load is a load which has got percentage of lighting load and percentage of motorized load. So it can also, so motorized load, when a short circuit is happening on the bus bar, there is a common theory that all motor will feed to the short circuit location. So here the short circuit location is bus bar. So this lump load percentage motorized load will feed to short circuit, feed to this point. Similarly, this motorized 500 kilowatt motor will also feed to this. Of course, their feeding has got limit based on their own percentage impedance. So this is been calculated by ETAP, and total short circuit current this bus bar is facing right now is 37.621 kiloampere. So this is summation of 31.653 plus 0.672 plus 5.311. Now we will check the units. This is symmetrical current. This is peak current. So the peak will be 345 kiloampere. This is the peak current the system will face when short circuit. So how does all these things will help in devising the project? Any question? Yes, one question is there. Can design electric train engine power supply system with this? Can design electric train engine power supply system with? Yes, yes, you can design. See, electrical engine power system right now we are using is 25 kV single phase system. The catenary system for engine is having 25 kV with maximum 400 ampere current carrying capacity. So rail traction system always you can define, you can design with ETAP. Absolutely, there is no problem. You can have 3-winding transformer also over here, right? So traction transformers are having 3 windings. One is 3-phase winding which receives powers from grid. Then 2 separate windings, single phase winding, they are feeding to different section of traction. So those calculations absolutely you can perform with ETAP, no problem. So I was telling that how this ETAP will help you out. So by this is, since we have taken a small example in which if I change the rating of this motor, presently we have performed the calculation using 500 kilowatt. If I change to say 1000 kilowatt, what is going to happen? That if we want to check, then again we will perform load flow on this. See, I have deliberately taken 1000 kilowatt motor. Now the system dynamics are changed. Again, if I change this load to say 1500, I'm overloading the system. So if I perform this, then it will show me alarm. Here you can see bus bar voltage level is 95.18%, which was earlier 98%. So also we have to check alarms. So presently there is no as such alarm. Yes. So system will give you alarms that these 2 buses are having, they are facing under voltage. Panel number 1, that means this bus is now facing under voltage and this bus is also facing under voltage. That means transformer itself is facing under voltage. So these type of things you can always cross check prior to design, prior to decide the rating of the components. So that means this 1500 kilowatt motor is quite large for this 1500 kVA transformer. That means either I have to reduce the rating of the motor or I have to increase the rating of the transformer. Sectional losses also I can check with this. So earlier this was something different. Now it has got some different values. So losses are increased because of heavy loading conditions. So by putting up, and there is a flow of reactive power from the source. That means it is consuming more reactive power from the source. That means power factor is getting reduced. So now I can decide whether I need to put a capacitor over here or not. So I need to go to edit mode. I'll extend this bus bar. I will take up the capacitor and I will connect it. So rating, I'm taking, bank rating I'm taking. So now again you have to run the load flow and you have to check it whether your reactive power requirement is getting. See the bus here you can check the bus bar voltage profile is increased. Alarms. Alarms are, that means everything is now smoothened. So these type of decisions you can take by modeling your system into ETAP and creating different scenario. This is nothing but optimal capacitor placement. Yes. So any question till now?
The student, dear participants, do you have any questions? Because we are, we are going for 5:30 because by 5:30 this workshop will end. So kindly ask as many as question you can. We can move ahead, sir. By 5:25, I'll request that we'll conclude the session. Yeah, thank you. Any question? Yes, sir.
Okay, so further, my partner Kapil Jani will take over. We will explain further on this.
Yes, so previous question somebody asked whether it can optimize, and as we explained, this is not a self-optimizing software, rather it's an analysis software. So you have to create different scenario and you have to buy your own, you have to optimize the system. But yes, every point, every equipment, it will indicate if the error is there or not. Now these error modes also can be, you have a setting that is defined. You can change the different loading parameters. Practical conditions can be defined by user to get, yes, and this is the alert. As you said earlier, we have explained the bus turned to orange, right? So that was because of this setting. So you can have customized settings for knowing the under voltage. Say for you are modeling distribution system of a city. Okay, so there is a of 1,000 buses in a system. So because of some loading conditions, particular loading conditions, which buses will go under voltage, and for that, what will be the optimal capacitor placement or SVC, where to locate, and you can realign the system for change the parameters. So that can be one of the use of this ETAP you can do efficiently. So these all input and output parameters basically are in your hand, so that you can model and get the result fast. So that is basically the strength of this software. So far we have explained few parameters. Okay, so in addition to this, we have taken a simple system, industrial system, wherein few elements only we have taken. That is just to just to expose the the capabilities of the system. Else, there are lot many options, lot many equipments available which are present in practical systems. Say transmission line also you can design. So if you want to design an electricity board, then you right from a generating station to transmission line to your premises and to your last motor, everything can be modeled. So transmission line, different parameters are there. Then yes, in addition, continuation to this, extension of this basic purpose will be to have a relay coordination. So those modules are also available. Different relays are there which can be fixed by means of CTs. So I will take that. I will add. This is a PT and this is a CT we have. I'll remove this. And I will connect multifunctional relay. Right. So now I have to, again, this CT is added. So its rating current was 37. So I will take 100 by 1 ampere CT. Okay, it's burden and its class we can give. Then a relay connected to this. There are many options, design libraries available. So you have to select which type of function this relay is having. Overcurrent, it can be IDMT, it can be instantaneous, directional. On neutral side, you can have IDMT and instantaneous characteristics, ground fault, earth fault, different depending upon the relay make you have selected and the features available. You can set these all parameters and you can use it for the grading of, say, one relay is here, second here. So protection coordination can also be performed after this performance of load flow, wherein you will fix the whether device capabilities are as per requirement or not. Then next step is short circuit analysis, by which you will know the short circuit levels at each and every bus. So the equipment capacity connected to that bus can be decided or designed. And third step is relay coordination. So relay coordination will give you a perfect system operational by which you can have selectivity and separation of the faulty part fastest, so that coordination studies can be done on this. And as you have seen, many more modules are available. Fast decouple, load flow analysis, transient studies can also be done. Say in this case, what will be the transient voltage drop if motor suddenly drops because of some trip? Then what will be the over voltage condition in the system, right? So this will be useful when the system goes beyond some 10-20 buses. Then it will be complex to analyze the system manually. So this device will help you in a minutes. You can have the complete solution issues with the system. So that is the capability of this system. Yeah. So I think this is a first introduction. I mean, most of you have not operated ETAP so far. That was the intention. So we have introduced you, and it is a self-learning software platform kind of thing, which is a drag and drop and double click. So that is the strength of this software.
So
yeah, there is a question.
Yeah. So as yeah, as we
okay,
are so as we are running short with the time, so we'll take only one question. And
Okay.
rest of the question, the participant can text me on the WhatsApp group. The same I'll forward to the sir. Okay, and once we'll get the time, we'll send you the answers, because there is another workshop lined up, and we are running short of the time. So I would like to request sir to answer this question, and then we'll go for the concluding.
Yeah, it's great that you intend to design a fastest train, but the software has got limitation to design. It's a transmission network only, so that transmission network always you can design with that with ETAP, and this is with you.
Okay, so I hope this answer your query was resolved. So now as we are at the end of the workshop, so I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank Jagrat sir and Kapil sir for his valuable time and expertise what you have shared. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to our director, Dr. Father Davis George, for his continuous motivation for this workshop. I would like to extend my thanks to Principal Madam, Dr. Smita Srivastav, who is continuously guiding us. She is a electrical engineer, and she has expertise in the several domain of electrical engineering. I would like to extend my thanks to our administrator, Father Ben Anton Rose, and the support team. I would like to extend my thanks to Rao sir for his continuous support during for the conduction of this workshop. Now, on the concluding note, I would like to request Principal Madam to say a few words for the workshop. Over to Madam.
Thank you, Rupal. I have attended all, this complete session, and as I am an electrical engineer, so I can very well understand the topic and the software and everything. I also did simulation on various softwares in power system. So Mr. Jagrat Patel has given a very clear and he has started from a very basic concept of the this simulation project. So thank
Madam,
you.
I was told that, yeah, madam, I was told that there are a batch of UG students. So to address those UG students, I started with the basics.
Oh yes, yes sir. Actually, you have started from the very basics. So for the everybody, those who are new for the software, and even if they are familiar, then also starting from the basic is a good thing. So thank you very much for giving us
Sure.
the idea of the software. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Oh, so thank you very much, sir, once again for sharing your valuable time and expertise. St. Aloysius Institute of Technology would like to thank everyone. We would like to thank our sponsor who sponsored this workshop, TQ3, RGPV Bhopal. And we would like to extend our thanks to the management, thanks to you, sir, thanks to every participant. Thank you very much, and have a happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all students for your patience hearing and questions. We would like to have more and more questions on this. We'll also share our PPT to you so that you can further learn it. Thank you.
Thank you.